The Arcturian Group, January 29, 2017. By Marilyn Raffaele. Webpage, www.onenessofall.com. Dear ones, in these times of global stress and conflict, we remind you of the reality that all is well and proceeding according to plan. Know that you are actors in a grand theatrical production written and produced by you. The third dimension is not your real home, and when you are once again back to your real home, you will look on these times as powerful creations necessary to push the awareness of mankind into remembering. Resist the temptation to add more negative energy to world conditions, but instead consciously allow love to flow to them regardless of what you are seeing. Love is all there is and is therefore the key to and the glue of every solution. Outer conditions are quickly lifting many into the realization that love is the only power and thus the only solution to every situation. Many who never before considered love beyond the human sense of it are awakening. Love is the only solution because love is all there is. Limited thinking would have you believe that love is only an emotion, and it is this belief that holds many back from opening their heart to a higher sense of love. Love is the essence of a consciousness of oneness. Everything within one can only be in and of that one, every life form made of the same substance and energetically connected. This connecting energy is what the world calls love. This does not mean that you are supposed to like everything see, or that you are not allowed an emotional response, but does mean that as spiritually evolved beings you are now able and required to start looking beyond appearances and recognize that what you are bearing witness to is the final act of a powerful play about separation, one that has 4 ends and still is serving as an awakening school. You are ready, and it is time to move more fully into a consciousness of real love, love that is free of limiting 3-dimensional concepts and that you live and express in every experience of daily living. Love is the realization of one. As awakened individuals, you are ready to begin to translate every situation, recognizing that the bad guys are divine beings just as fully as the good guys within the evolutionary play. Every time you do this, you add more light to world consciousness. Self cannot be left out of the equation, but self-love can be difficult for anyone still holding concepts about what constitutes valid spirituality. Self-love becomes natural and judgment, self-loathing releases as individuals come to understand that negative emotions or experiences of the past or present are tools for deeper insight actually written into the play by self. Emotions can only be experienced if the energy of the particular emotion is resonating in one's energy field, cellular memory, emotional body, etc. Once you realize this, you are able use your emotional responses as guides to understanding what you may still hold in your belief system. Bless and thank all emotions. This is loving self when they arise instead of meeting them with resistance in the belief that they are barriers to spirituality and something to be gotten rid of. Higher dimensional frequencies automatically override the denser ones. As you practice love, you will discover that the negative emotions disturbing you today are gradually fading into the nothingness they really are, and often without any awareness, until the day comes when you realize that your responses have drastically changed. See and give gratitude for the perfection of the path of awakening you have chosen, the realization of oneness attained through experiences of separation. Earth is a difficult school, but one in which you yourselves have chosen to journey. There are souls on other planets evolving in less difficult ways without the intense sense of separation that is experienced on Earth. Graduation from Earth School results in a PhD in oneness because you have actually experienced a sense of separation. Trust that all actions, emotions, and experiences are necessary facets of your evolutionary process. At a certain point every soul chooses to awaken, and from then on nothing is random and there are no accidents. The choice is often made on a higher level of consciousness when the higher self determines that, like it or not, an individual is ready. Resist nothing, dear ones, for resistance only bestows power onto something that has no power of its own to hold it in place, only the power of belief. This is difficult in these times of so much seeming turmoil. Try not to immerse yourself in the news, negativity, and fear, but instead use what you become aware of to practice truth, realizing that nothing has power to separate you from who and what you are. Yes, there is much you do not understand or resonate with right now, but what you are witnessing is the struggle of the old to remain intact. The present outer scene is serving to awaken many who up to now have been content to live without real thought, simply accepting and believing whatever they were told by governments, churches, leaders, experts, etc., giving away their own innate power in the process. Every individual must at some point embrace his true identity and claim his divinely bestowed power, if not in this lifetime then another, but the energy is intensely present now for all ready and choosing to do this. You yourselves have chosen to be here for this energetic feast. World conditions are serving to help a majority become aware of goings-on that have been previously purposely swept under the rug for self-gain. Be not afraid, dear ones, for the light and all within it is held infinitely in place by divine law, while the illusions formed of false concepts and beliefs are simply balloons with their skins peeled off. The energy of love is the only energy and thus the only power. Never forget this or allow yourselves to revert back to giving power to appearances. Divine love is all there is simply because it is all there is. One divine, omnipresent, omnipotent, and omniscient consciousness. If that is all there is, then how could there ever be anything real separate and apart from it? What would it be made of? The energy of the grand illusion of separation and its accompanying duality has formed the three-dimensional world you have come to believe is the real world, but which in actuality it is the bottom rung of a very high ladder. Mankind in general is in the process of moving up this evolutionary ladder. Those of you reading these messages have already done so, or they would make no sense to you. However, in times of stress there remains for everyone the temptation to step back onto that familiar bottom rung. You are ready to integrate love in its truest form, dear ones, a love that recognizes the divinity of every person, place, thing, experience, etc., and which never excludes self because no one is or ever can be outside of one. We are the Arcturian group,